Mr. Truck here with another exciting truck review. This is a 2016 F650. I've been waiting a year to get this truck. Big dump truck, 10-footer. We're going to gravel roads, we're going to haul trash, we're going to fly up the mountains. And this has a V10, a 6-speed automatic. Kelsey, how much power do we have?
We have 330 horsepower to 440 pounds-foot of torque.
Okay.
I believe how it's said properly.
Well, cool. Yes, 22.5 tires, 14-ply tires. This is the real McCoy. So join us going up and watching it snow in Estes, and we'll have several videos of all the things we're going to do. It's a work truck. We're going to make it work. Crew cab. Actually has a pretty good list of toys on it. So come join us. Yeah, Kelsey, pop that hood. It's a tilt-forward hood. Makes everything so much easier to get to. Just like a big semi. This is the big truck. This is a Class 6. Then there's kind of a groove.
Maybe if I weigh enough.
Come on, Kelsey, you can do it. Now let's see, on this side, you can see the giant reservoir and air cleaner. Yeah, a lot of room, but you can get to basically everything there. Work on your headlights. And I can look at this. This must be what they talk about, that jump start thing. That's where you would actually run your booster cables too. Well, cool. Now let's see what's on the other side. Nice giant chrome grille and chrome bumper. Maybe you can see it all from there, but there's like another electrical box, but there's a power steering reservoir, the brake reservoir, and the power steering pump has to be down here because that's the power steering pump right there. If I can find it, zoom in on it. Right there's the pump for the hydraulics. I think it's also the brake boost because I don't see any other kind of boost up there. But anyway,
I'm surprised the air filter is so small.
You think? I thought it was big. You think it's a small one?
That's not a very
well,
big
yeah,
box.
semis will have the big round canisters on the side, the chrome.
Even all mine are cannons.
Oh, really?
The big round ones.
Cool. Well, if you got enough oomph to close that puppy. That's a heavy hood. What did we figure out? This was a tangerine orange, or was it something else? Tangerine orange. Let's look at that clap. So I got that hit out of the way. Yeah, it used to be. Those stood out. Triton 650. I like that mirror. You just fit right underneath that mirror.
I do. 5'3" for everybody who wants to know. But I mean, I can grow a couple more inches.
Yeah, let's see how many steps it takes to get up into the cab.
Just one.
Really?
I can get in.
Well, you jump right up there.
Yeah.
Now,
it's actually proportioned very well, step-wise.
Yeah, you got two running board kind of things. You can run along the side. I have to go back and forth for the cameras. Now, I was interested. It's really cool is because this has automatic windows on the front two windows. Yeah, it does have power mirrors. And it has tilt and telescoping wheel.
It does. Feels a lot like a regular, like 250 or 350 on the inside.
Yeah, you get comfortable very fast. Stereos, outfitter switches, all kinds of things. Now, I want to hear with all this noise off. Play with that air seat. Well, you may have to have the switch on because that'll drop it down. Did you hear the key?
Yeah.
Because it is the noisiest thing I've ever heard, which means it has to be under the seat somewhere. Oh, man. I would get that pump out of there, put it under the body. Okay, cool. It takes quite a while to air it up. It's nice to let it out to climb in and out because I like to adjust the steering wheel and leave it alone. Now you saw the buttons. So tell me, the white button dumps it.
Nope, the white button raises it.
Oh, you're right, yeah. The white button raises it. And look at that. That bed just goes up. Yeah, go all the way up with it because I want to look underneath there. It's got a big cab guard. This one has a rollover tarp. Gonna be using all that. Just like playing with your Tonka trucks at home. Except it's got a big crew cab. A scissors cylinder, a single cylinder. There we go. That's all the way up. So that's how you would dump all your stuff. Now, what's interesting here, of course, you see the giant leaf springs. This is a four-wheel disc brake. This bar here is to brace under there to keep safe. But right there, that's your emergency brake. It's a big drum cylinder, and it stops everything from moving. It's got some of the best leverage for a brake is having it there instead of having it inside your wheels like your pickup truck would have. Look how big the drive shaft is. Giant drive shaft, giant differential. And we'll go on the other side and show you the hydraulic pump that runs this big giant cylinder, because that is a big cylinder. It's called the scissors, one single cylinder.
And we got tons of pickup truck questions, right?
Right. Where do we go for the answers?
We go to the Truck Nuts book.
Because we're truck nuts. And we wrote the book, Truck Nuts. We're nuts about truck, the ultimate guide to buying a truck, or to looking at a truck, or judging a truck. You know, whether it's diesel versus gas, new versus used, what your teenagers should learn about trucks, all that. You do all kinds of cool tests.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing. We do the iGauntlet, world's toughest towing test, up the mountain and down the mountain. We do MPG testing on the highway, loaded with trailers.
Yeah.
We do off-road testing. A lot of that data is in this book as well, and it's a one-stop shop for truck information.
That's true. We test trucks maximum capacity up to the biggest grades you can do on the interstate.
Yep.
So we really put them to the test. And you know, you can get all the facts you can't find anywhere else. We do MPG tests, which you can't find on any sticker anywhere. So, you know, all that stuff that you can't find is in the book.
And you can find the book at trucknutsbook.com. There are links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the other bookstores as well.
So read about your truck nuts. Over on the right side of the frame, this here looks like a 10-gallon reservoir, and it says automatic transmission fluid, but that's not what it's for.
Dextron.
Yeah, it feeds off these two pumps, which are electric solenoids, and they use electric motors to run a hydraulic pump, and that's what runs through these hoses, and then goes right up to that cylinder. And your husband Chris was explaining to me that's better fluid than hydraulic fluid for the wintertime and all that, but that is so cool. How giant that pump is. How giant the tank is. 2 pumps. It's serious. And on this truck, he had the option of PTO. Now, show us what this back seat is like. It's a bench. The front ones are 2 captain's chairs. Oh shoot, I left the darn cameras in the way. Oh, we're waiting for that. Yeah, there's a switch that shuts off, or at least warns you that your bed is going up. Yeah. So it does have a light on the dash. Okay. Very similar to Super Duty. And you've got the legroom, which is what it's all about. Legroom. Yeah, this is really good.
I mean,
really good. Yeah.
They do have. This feels bigger than a normal 250, and maybe I'm crazy.
It does. It does. I agree with you.
It feels like it's bigger.
Yeah, the floor seems a lot different than like on my 250. Now, you were telling me about on the other side, these ding-dongs put the triangle emergency things. Oh, is it not bolted down?
It's not bolted down. So maybe it can go somewhere else, but...
Yeah, it's supposed to fly in the back of your head, I guess, when you're driving it.
If we place it there, that's a silly place to put it.
Yeah, you can almost get 2 people in there, but yeah, I'm surprised it's not bolted in. I would fit behind some seat or somewhere. It's like me, I have an air conditioner. Well, I'm not air conditioner, I have a fire extinguisher, and I put it on the side of the seat so it stays put. But
or mount them behind or underneath the seats. They come up, they go down. Maybe
well, I couldn't get this one. Oh, there you go. The bottom folds up.
This one comes up.
And I don't know if there's any other. Oh, there's a mechanism here for this one. So look
there's got to be plenty of room.
Yeah, there's enough room. You could stick the one, stick them side by side. The fire extinguisher and all that. So while they're out here, I guess whoever did the last inspection put it there. But there's plenty of room for all that behind the seat. I thought there was.
It surprises me to see child locks in here too.
That's the top one. The bottom tethers won't be in here. That'll tell us if it's the old Super Duty. Yeah, let's look in it because the old Super Duty only had that top one, and I hate hooking the top one up to a child seat. The tethered ones in the fold of the seat, they were better.
On the side. Will you hit the button?
I locked down in it.
Yep.
So I bet you won't find tethers.
There are
down
no
there.
tethers.
Yeah. So that shows this is, I guess, like the Super Duty. Unless they wouldn't have made a special cab just for this, I don't think. I would be very surprised if that's what they had. No sliding rear window, no front mirror because you can't use it anyway.
See it?
Now, show me to see. This has.
They did put a notch up there for the review.
Yeah. Now, see, there's a handle there. Show me that handle. Let's see if we get in, plus this big handle on the side. And then the same thing on the front. There's some weird handles in there. If you want to show us that, because I actually spin around and then walk down backwards. But you got that handle, and then you got a handle up there. That's about what it takes in these tall trucks. I mean, I have to take a while to get up here, but I use that puppy for getting out. Yeah, see, I spin around and then climb down, but you're more agile than I am. Now, what's this? There's another plug. Is that for boosting it? Does that say anything on it?
It says forward.
Oh.
It is. It's a battery cable, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
For jump start.
Yeah, you got that plus one under the cab. That seems like a redundant system. They must think they're military. Well, now, let's look at this. There's something else up here on the front bumper. What does that say? Is that to give you an auxiliary 12 volt, or is that? Yeah, that's 110. I saw that. I'm sure this has got a block heater on it.
Maybe.
Giant tow hooks. They got your tow hooks so you can pull out your neighbors. Pretty cool. I love this grill and bumper. This looks snazzy. I like this truck. Find anything there, but this has got the big leaf springs. If you can see that drag link in there. Quite a mechanism. Big heavy axles. Look at the size of the steering box on this puppy. Goodness gracious. It's big. 22.5s. Well, what else is there cool about this truck? Clearance lights. The chrome is just in the right places. Probably wouldn't be the color I'd order, but people would think you work for the DOT. But it does stand out. But it might blend in with all the state and county trucks. And that does show you that it's, Roush Industries did the upfit, the body. Cool. Well, let that puppy down. Does that go to that probably tells you your seatbelt's off or on, or what is that?
Huh?
Does that tell you the seatbelt's off or on, or what does that one do?
The cord that I was playing with?
Yeah.
I was seeing it.
Oh, it's that cord.
Screw it.
Yeah,
There's.
I've seen a lot of those that we're just setting off to the side where you can walk around and actually walk to the back of the truck and then dump it.
This one doesn't look like we can.
Not very long, yeah.
That's as much as you get.
We'll unhook the actual lever that dumps the tailgate, and I'll walk around and see.
This one?
Yeah. And that's how we're going to dump it.
Maybe.
Maybe. There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah, now that means this cam is off that roller, and this probably hasn't been used to dump anything, so I'm going to break it in, but that's what that does. It opens up this cam here. This is your adjustment chain, or your spreader chain for how wide you want that door to open for how you spread it. And this one actually does. It's set up for a trailer except for the brake controller in the cab. It's got the D-ring, safety rings. It's got the hitch, which is adjustable in the plate, and the plug-in. So everything you need except for the brake controller. We got to work on that project. Cool. Okay, Kelsey, a little tab on that emergency brake is not the easiest thing to run. Yeah, there we go. Takes all you got to pull that puppy down, because that tightens up right in the drive shaft. Big old drum right on the drive shaft. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna go down there and see this. Here's those outfitter switches, which are really cool. So you put in your snow plow, your lights, all that stuff you do on one of these. Like your Super Duty? Yeah. Well, you look like you fit over there. Like a big trucker.
Fitting.
Yeah. Cruise control, tilt, telescoping wheel. That's nice. Big truck like this, you got a lot of adjustments you got to do. Now this has great visibility.
Wonderful.
You can see right over the hood and the side windows. You see the mirror. You got the cutout for the door. Yeah, this is made for real truck. You got captain chairs up front, a bench seat in the back.
A folding bench.
Yeah, folding bench. Cool. Armrests up here, and they actually adjust. You lift them up and they lock into place. Yeah, pretty cool. Find that sweet spot that everybody fits. Cool. Okay, let's head up to high country. And this also shows you which gear you're in, like most all the Ford transmissions now, which I like.
Accelerate as much as it's got.
You're floored, man. You're all the way to the floor. Hear the thunder. Doesn't sound like much. It doesn't pull you back in the seat much.
Nope, that it doesn't.
Okay.
But try and get out of everybody's way.
Yep. Gonna hit up the mountains. See if altitude affects this V10. Yeah, never know what you're going to find in the Rockies. This is a big old Class A. Pulling a Jeep. An old Jeep. That would have been before the Wagoneers. Would have been like, you know, the J20, 30 pickup trucks. And that's actually probably could have been a Willys. What were those called? I can't remember the name of the Willys. Like a travel all international or a suburban or. I want you guys to see a little bit of how rough riding this old tanker is.
This thing is a tank.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. There's some ripples in the road. You feel all that and hear all that. But this Ford F650 crew cab, it's got a 10-foot bed, dump bed, and you hear the tailgate banging back there, and you'll hear that until you get it loaded, and that noise goes away. A few other noises I haven't quite figured out, but this rides better than Big Green, old Roman's project truck, that 84 Chevy. But, and on a nice road, I mean, it's great, but a rough road in cities, it's a rough ride. It does have an air seat on your side. But this one actually is equipped well. I love the visibility on this truck.
The visibility is wonderful.
It slopes
such a
down.
big truck.
Yeah, and it's got the single arm mirrors, which the semis, they've all gone to that. Remember when they first came out, Ram had them in 2002 on their heavy duties, and they would vibrate like crazy, just like the early Kenworths did. 2003, the Dodge Rams took the vibration out. And so it's a big deal on these trucks. This is a Class 6 truck. And the 750 is, of course, a Class 7 truck. But this puppy, the mirrors are great big spotted mirrors on the bottom.
Wonderful spotter mirrors.
Yeah, and then, of course, this is, I'm sure, the same cab as the Super Duty had before they went aluminum.
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, doors look the same. And this here cuts down, so you've got great visibility on the corner. Those little cars will sneak up on you in the mirror. I like it.
It's got the exact same dash, auxiliary switches. The only thing you're pretty much missing is the huge center console.
That's true, and I'm sure there's options on consoles, because this is a small console. And if you're, of course, this is like a local hauler, what you would do with your backhoe and your skid layers there, you know, doing construction, that kind of stuff. This is not really an over-the-road trucks. This is what you call a day cab. But it's a crew cab with this 10-foot bed and, you know, I'm sure 14-ply tires, 12R, 11R 12s, 22, I mean, 11R 22s, 5s, which is pretty common on these bigger trucks. It's 22 5s, 24 5s. These 22 5s are really kind of taking over the market. It's got a big emergency brake, and I'll show you all that on camera. And that's the thing too, this is a similar setup to what a regular Super Duty 250 or 350, 450, 550 would have. Engine similar, second generation, 6 point, no this is not, this is
the V10.
The diesel is second generation 6.7, but this V10, similar transmission, it's in the pickup trucks too, but they call it a wide ratio, it's called the heavy duty.
It's still a 6-speed though, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's a 6R 140. And this, the cool thing too about having a V10, besides being 9,000 cheaper than the diesel, is, you know, a V10 has more cylinders, so it also has a lower red line. You know, like a gas engine V8 would be, say, 6,000 RPM red line. This is around 5,000 RPM. But that's a lot higher than the diesel. The diesel, you know, you wouldn't really go much over 3,500 RPMs or less. And that's why this can get by with a 650 rear end. They give it all that low end torque, plenty of starting power under a load. But I was worried that 650 would only give me a 50-mile-an-hour road speed, but I've got over 70 with it. So they know what they're doing. In the old days, when I was selling this type of truck, you know, we had that kind of rear end in them, and a diesel, you know, we were at 50 mile an hour. We actually had to get road gears in a differential, change out the ring and pinion. But the cab is very nice. You got, like you say, the switches, depth fitter, 4 of them. So you can, put on your snowplow, your big lights, whatever you need to do. It's got a CD player. It's got a thing to talk to your phone while you're driving on the car, on the truck.
I think Ford is the sync app.
Yeah.
Yep.
For some reason, it's got little coin holders all over the place. I don't know how many coins you need. It must be a toll truck.
Probably.
Yeah. But I'm not even sure if this size truck has an airbag in it. I'm not sure. I don't look that up because I don't see anything that says airbag or a safety restraint system. But you got a nice automatic. You got tow haul mode. You can go manual shift on it. You tilt and telescoping wheel, cruise control.
Cruise control's a lifesaver if you're hauling.
Well, yeah, and then one of my favorites is power mirrors, which in my day we didn't have that on big trucks, and now they do, which is so nice. So you can see that's put that spotter mirror right where all those bicycles are trying to run around your right side. But a lot of room in this cab, a lot of room in the back seat back there. It's what almost looks like it's bigger than Super Duty in the old days.
It does.
And a lot of feet.
Looks a lot larger than a regular Super Duty.
Yeah. That's
Maybe it's because there's no center console or something.
I don't know what it is, because it says captain chairs up front. A lot of those trucks will might have a captain with a big console or a 40-20-40 seat. My favorite, big bench in the back. You got a couple steps to get up on top of this thing. What size did you say the fuel tank was?
It's 59 gallons.
59 gallons of gas. So right now I've been averaging about 7 miles to the gallon empty, which means long tours loaded. Because a lot of money. We're going to find out, because we are going to put asphalt and gravel and junk in it. We're going to do a bunch of hauling in. We're going to try to hook up a trailer. It doesn't have a brake control for some reason, but it does have the wired harness to the back. It does have the ball hookup. So we're going to try to do that. But I love these tilt cabs on these trucks. So easy to get to everything you want to get to, and we'll show you all that. And go over
The hydraulic lift bed's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's electric powered. This type of truck has PTO available to it.
Okay.
Which in my day, all of our dump beds were PTO powered. You got a gearbox and a side transmission, and that's something new, say in the last 6-7 years, where they put them on automatics. Before they were always on a manual transmission, and now you can get them on almost all the automatics. You have that PTO option, and then you run the drive shaft back to a pump, and that's what runs your bed. Well, this one, I guess, I don't know exactly why they did that option, but it has electric motors running the hydraulics.
Okay.
So electric motor runs the hydraulic pump. It's got a great big tank on the side. Looks like a 10-gallon tank. And they use automatic transmission fluid in these puppies. And it's got the solenoids back there on the outside the frame. Goes to the twin. It's got scissors hydraulic dumps. It's a single cylinder twin scissors. But anyway, so it's actually ride pretty good.
Yeah, down the road, empty. It's not
as bad as you think it would be.
Not as much of a tank as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, as long as you don't get in the city where all those potholes are, you're okay. And loaded truck, we'll find out just how that is, but I'm thinking it's going to be pretty nice.
It's going to squeeze out.
Yeah. Just see how kind of acceleration we get. Maybe we'll do some 0 to 60 times.
Yeah. Might be waiting a couple minutes, guys.
Well, this has got hydraulic disc brakes. If you go to the 750, then you go to the optional air.
Okay.
And you can have air brakes, and you can have an air 2-speed axle, which would be nice. That would help your fuel mileage. Put a diesel on it, get a 2-speed axle, so you had 12 gears instead of 6. And then you could really be humming down the road.
Might be getting 10 out of it.
Yeah, that would be and that's I'm sure how you would equip a tractor, because you can get a tractor 750 for all that. You probably can get a tractor 650. And then you set those up a little different. And this bobtail is here. The one thing about a bobtail, you got a 10-foot bed, you can put a trailer and load it up a lot, ton weight, you're never going to see it squat.
Yep.
This one I was trying to figure out, you're good at math. This one here is a GVW of 26. 26. So 1 more pound would be CDL range. And since we're just doing editorial review, we don't have to have a CDL. I do have one. You don't, but we're legal in this truck. And the gross combined weight rating on this truck with the trailer is 36,000. Now we're getting the good old rough city pavement. And the diesel, or the 750, the 750, actually the diesel's what shoots it up to 50,000 combined weight rating.
Okay.
I'll go over my notes in there because I didn't take a lot of notes on this thing.
So you're 24,000 above. what this is.
Yeah, for the trailer.
With the diesel, the trailer.
Yeah, because this I think weighs 14,280. Yeah, and so we can be,
15.
we can be up to 26. So that's what you've got for the
11,000.
bid. Yeah, and that then with the trailer, let's go from 36,000 to say a base weight of over 14. Let's say 15. 36 minus 15. That's 21,000. That's a pretty big trailer. If we are hauling 21,000 pounds on the back of this. But yeah, but you've got some brake controller in here.
Yep.
It's got a lot of pockets in the doors. It's got places to put stuff. I threw all my notes up where it causes glare. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not bad. Now we'll show you the emergency brake on this, and we'll show it to you underneath the bed because this is run off your PTO shaft. It's not run off of your, pickup trucks will have cables running back to either the brakes or to another brake on the inside of the brakes for an emergency brake. And this is like what the Humvees and the H1 Hummers have, and the old farm trucks I grew up with. You got the big brake drum for the shoes on the drive shaft right in front of the differential. The ones I had always had them right behind the transmission. But this is, that's a good way to do it. I mean, it really grabs it. And, transmissions, it does have a park, which there was, a crawl gear thing and a few other things. I remember GM 5500 had some problems with emergency brake setup on the brake. Now, those were Allison's. So I'm sure that, you can figure all that stuff out pretty fast. But if you put this in park, it locks up the transmission. And it's kind of hard on things. If you were to load this and have 26,000 and be on an angle, you might end up tearing something up in that brake and the transmission. So there's a lot to learn about that. But I use the transmission park brake when I'm just rolling around town and level. But I use the emergency brake for about everything else, along with the park brake. So a little different animal this is than a pickup truck. Right off the bat when you have to take 3 steps to get into it.
Yep. Tires are bigger than I am.
Does this make you feel tough and mean being a tall truck?
Makes me feel small.
This is like your lifted trucks, maybe a little bit taller than all your lifted Dodges you have.
Definitely taller.
Yep, the bouncy trucks. Took my grandkids in here. They got a big kick out of how much it bounced around. I thought that was fun.
Bet you they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they did. Bouncy bed.
Accelerating as much as it's got.
You're floored, man. You're all the way to the floor. Hear the thunder. Doesn't sound like much. It doesn't pull you back in the seat much.
Nope, that it doesn't.
Okay.
I try and get out of everybody's way.
Yep. Gotta hit up the mountains. See if altitude affects this V10.
See me eating some cookies on that one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had that one shut off when I was outside, so we'll have to film you eating cookies later.
Oh, okay.
We had no problem, with the fuel-injected vehicles. We didn't have any problem with carburetor-injected vehicles. But this one, of course, fuel-injected. You're not going to know when you change the altitude. It's going to, turbo will certainly help, but we don't have that. That's on the diesel, on the 6.7. But this puppy, vinyl floor, of course, and it's a work truck, so it does bang around a little more. How's it doing corners?
It's a little top heavy, but not. Yeah. It's not horrible.
It can't lean much. The springs are so stiff. But this is dually, and it's all these springs front and rear, and that dually. This has really got some incredible brakes. These giant 22.5 tires back there. Yeah, you wouldn't know you were in an F650 except for that you're 10 feet off the ground.
Yep. Well, fuel mileage just went to 7.
Well, there you go. We're going to be losing ground on fuel mileage.
Yep. That we will.
I don't have a sound meter. I'd like to know the difference between the sound empty and loaded because, that big giant tailgate back in this 10-foot bed bounces a lot.
Yep, it does.
Yeah. Get rid of some of those noises once we get a load on it. And that's how these trucks are designed to be loaded 90% of the time, where a pickup truck's is designed to be loaded 10% of the time, like a half ton. So the design is different. and how they handle things. That's one reason why you got to put up with a little rougher ride. Of course, if we had air ride, it would be better, but we got an air seat.
model.
There you go. Yeah, if we could do the
Yeah,
diesel
but
next
even with
time.
it being an air seat, it's not as bouncy as some of the air seats I've sat in.
Yeah, and on a semi-air seat, you just put it so it's an air ride, or you can make it just swing all over the place when you're dancing over there. But maybe next time we'll get a 750 with air and a diesel, and we'll get to try all that axle. I'd love to have a 2-speed axle. The farm, that's what we had. All of our farm trucks had 2 speeds. And that was always, during the wheat harvest, we'd drive 2-ton trucks, and we had our 16-foot beds on, so we'd haul 300 bushel of wheat. So our load was 18,000 pounds.
Okay.
And our last truck we had on the farm was an International Cab over 304 V8, 5-speed and a 2-speed axle. So it's 10 gears to run around in. And I could, I was always racing to town with my 300 bushels of wheat so I could beat everybody else and get unloaded at the elevator.
Yep.
If you didn't, you had to wait in line for an hour. So
Yep.
I was always passing all these old trucks. That was fun. I spent a lot of time on a truck this size. In the county, we used to gravel roads with this size truck. Of course, then I ran the bulldozer, ran the semis, and the loaders, but this is how it used to be in the old days, and you would fill this full of gravel and go down that dirt road, lift the bed up, pull the rope, which there used to be a hole in the handle, pull the rope, and then open the tailgate, and you would just be splattering gravel all over the road.
But it would level.
Yeah, you didn't have that, and
Yep.
you did that at that speed so that you didn't have to go back and level it out with a grader. So it was a very efficient way of doing it. Of course, now it's all safety. They don't want you driving down the road and raising the bed.
Yep.
So this one, you got to kind of let the old tailgate fly open a little, and leave your little puddle of gravel, and then finish gravel. We're going to do that in the yard. See how good I can get at laying down a level layer of adjutant or aggregate, whatever it's called. Anyway, recycled asphalt.
Yep.
Get to all that stuff in my big 650. By all these Mustangs. What is up with that?
Well, can't exactly keep up with them in this.
No, that's very true. Very true. We're not going to win any races today.
No, but as safe as I can getting up and down mountain.
Yeah, this is also, from my experience, with an easy steering. It's for circulating ball, big drag, and they can all have the steering. But I thought it steered really well.
It does steer really well.
It's brand new. The trucks I had, the old trucks with 200,000 miles on them, 30 years old, they kind of wobbled a bit. But it's a Class 6. That's where the name 650 comes from, Class 6. Class 6 is a 19,501 GBWR up to 26, which is what this is, the GBW, and this is 26,000. On a 750 motion, 26.1, when you get that CDL class, all the way up to 33,000. Of course, the semis start at 33,000 and go up from that. I guess we'll see what that does. There's a lot of those in SEMA last year.
I think we're going to try and go to SEMA this year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That'd be cool if we do some videos with you. Get you some money while you're up there.
Make some money while we're there.
Yeah, pay you to come do some video shoots with somebody. See, we go up there usually 3 days, 4 days. That's how long it lasts, but if you guys have got that long or not. Okay, this puppy, of course, it's a cabin chassis. They put the bed on Roush did the conversion on this. I think it's got a rugby bed. But, yeah, that rugby bed isn't cheap. I'm sure that includes the hydraulic cylinders and everything else. Somewhere I have the information on that. But we're getting asses pretty fast. But anyway, that's the thing about when these cabin chassis. You decide how long you need. You decide which engine you need. And there's 3 different diesel options. They're all 6.7s, but they all have different horsepower and torque ratings.
Different
You decide which
turbos,
one.
different transmission. Yeah, there's a lot of options you can choose.
Bio 20 diesel. Yep, this is called the Torque Shift HD automatic transmission. You can get it with or without that PTO provision we talked about. Tow haul mode, integrated engine brake, that's on the diesel. It's really an exhaust brake, but you got 3 cab sizes too: a regular cab, a super cab, and a crew cab. That's neat. And this is actually the only gas engine available in a Class 6 or 7.
Okay.
Everybody else is all diesel. Just give you some choices. The fuel, it'd save you $9,000. And you get it right, you're not going to get the same fuel mileage. It all depends on how long you keep the truck and how many miles you get a truck. You're still going to have, 150,000, maybe 200,000 to pay for the extra cost of that diesel out of your fuel savings. And
so if you're using it every day, then yes. If you're not so much.
Yeah.
Because if you use it every day and it's a business purchase, I can see getting a diesel over a gas. Whereas if it's seasonal or something like that, I can see staying with a gasser.
Yeah, and it is good to have options. It's big fleets, they buy all kinds of trucks. But that's how you cab a chassis. You decide how long you want the frame, what your spring rating is, because you can get some really heavy duty springs on this. I was thinking this one that we have is like 120,000 PSI frame, but usually it's a double frame, so I'll have to double check on that. Find out what axle size, because we can go pretty high on the front axle. Yep, it's a Dana. If we're a single speed 19,000 rear axle, it's a Dana S19-140. It's got synthetic fluid in that rear end. On the rear suspension, you can get all the way up to 21,000. And tires, you can go like what we have here. We have the 22.5, they're 11Rs, which is a 14 ply, or you can go to a low profile, which is down to a 19.5, like what you'd have on a 450. So, and you see that a lot with the moving bands, Mayflower and all those guys, where they'll get them with low profile for loading.
Yeah.
So you can do that. But that's the cool thing about these cabin chassis. You decide what options you want. Yeah, the whole configuration. Now this puppy, see what it has a package. We've got a preferred equipment package, 6-speed auto, 650 axle, front stabilizer bar, trailer contact kit combined, hydraulic.
But no trailer brake.
Yeah. See, this is confusing. I gotta make sure that I can put a brake control in here. That works on electric trailer. I'm sure I can. It's got the sync media, so you can plug in everything and listen to your favorite rap songs.
There's a squeak in this somewhere up front.
Yeah. But I don't hear that rear squeak, that really annoying sound kind of way. Maybe we wore out whatever it was banging on. It says trans power takeoff gas. Well, that means transmission power takeoff. I don't know why. Maybe it's still down there. They're just not using it. I do not understand that. Yeah, they're showing that the frame rails are 120,000 PSI. That's a really high rating on the frame. And I can see that on tractors. Yeah. It's a single frame. I mean, the tractors, I can see going up to that. There's now a jump start stud, which means there's a plug-in out front, which I thought was giving you auxiliary 110. That might be where you jump start. We'll look over that.
There's auxiliary 110 in here, 212 volts.
Yeah. Remote keyless, even has remote keyless entry.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Is it on the? Oh, it's on the fob,
Yeah.
or it's on the key. Yep.
Big old chrome grill I got blind you. I love that. The power equipment group, so it does power mirrors, and that's a package I would definitely get. I'd always get power mirrors. And that's what that tells us. It's made in Ohio. Shipped it out to let Roush work on. It's called Motor State Solutions, and that's what they do. A lot of times, the truck gets built and gets on a rail and goes to the next step for the upfitters. Roush was the upfitter in this case. Yeah, and the weight is empty. It was 14,280 pounds. Me and the grandkids. And this one, it shows this V10 6.8 liter. It is 330 horsepower, 440 pound-feet of torque.
That's a lot.
So that's the official way to say it. Pounds-feet of torque.
Pounds-feet of torque.
Foot-pounds makes sense to me, but pound-feet of torque is what all the engineers will say. And this V10, you can get it factory equipped for compressed gas, propane, CNG, probably LNG and propane. dump body, it's 5 to 7 cubic yards. And a payload capacity, like what you said, 11,335. You're on top of things. You know what you're doing.
I was close.
Yeah,
335 short.
Yeah,
but
you were very, very close. Figured out that payload. So, I used to load 1 tons up to 10,000 pounds. Of course, I was a crazy farmer. I don't think you should do that now.
I don't think you should, but
No.
a couple times isn't going to hurt it.
Yeah, now the base price on this truck, if you were just to get it as a
Just the truck,
crew
no
cab,
dump?
yeah, just the truck with no options, would be $16,940. That's the base one. Then you add the option packages, and the MSRP jumps up to $67,515.
It's a lot of trees.
Yes,
down
yeah, the option packages, like you can do the math and figure that out. It's $5,080. Destination charge, $1,495. Well, a lot of pickup trucks will charge. They'll charge you $1,200 to get it. This has been shipped all around the country. The dump body on here, which I think is a rugby, and so we'll say that whole package that Roush put on it is MSRP of $12,570. So we've talked about a lot of the Super Duties, 250s, 350s, 450s, getting up into the $80,000 range. That's what the grand total of this, with the bed equipped the way we're driving it, $80,085. Let's see, that would be about $1,600 a month payments. Wow,
Yep,
that's a
can do
house
it.
payment. Yeah, you got to make a lot of money. Of course, if you're
More than-
making $10,000 a month on your job, hauling with it, you can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the facts about this truck as we know it. And like I say, there was no media launch, so we couldn't go interrogate engineers and get the lowdown on it. And we'll show you when we start dumping with this how to adjust the chains and all that, because I used to do this stuff way back when I was a young puppy. I put a lot of miles on one of these trucks. But there's a lot of snow up here.
There is. I'm worried.
We did that last weekend, last Wednesday. We had a Ford F-150 Limited at the very top of the line. It was $67,000, but it had vibrating seats. I probably would pay that for the vibrating seats. So comfortable. And it had automatic parking, parallel parking. You drive by the hole, it measures it, you push a button, take your hands off, feet off, and it parks. That's just so cool.
See, I'm always worried that it's going to hit somebody else's vehicle or something's going to happen.
Yeah. I wonder if Ford has some kind of insurance policy for that.
I don't know.
Lexus has had that option for a long time, so they probably have it figured out by now.
I'd much rather just parallel park it myself and be done. Are we coming to a stop?
Yep. Yeah, this is a 6R140 transmission. Yeah, the frame started 50K, which a lot of F650s and maybe the 450 cab chassis with a 50,000 frame. Another 150 had some crazy number like that when they first boxed it in, or when they came out with the new style, but you can go on the frame 50 PS, 50,000 PSI, 80,000 PSI, 120 PSI, which is what this has, which I'm confused by, but anyway. And see, this truck, you can't get a manual transmission.
Nope.
It is what it is. Oh, it's 37,000 gross combined. I thought it was 36. So we gained another 1,000 on that trailer, which is good.